Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the class of English Literature. So there are so many chapters covered till now, and I think from every chapter or poem, you must have learned something or the other. There are few values. Now, if I talk about Olympic Granny, you are kind of motivated. That a 90-year-old women can do anything. And other chapters also, like we had done a chapter related to the nature and the environment, then you realized what have we made, in which world we are living. But trust me, this chapter that we are going to study today is going to make you realize the importance of something which we usually forget in our day-to-day life, because we have friends, we have our gadgets, we are so involved in all this that sometimes we forget how privileged we are. What is the privilege that has been given to us? So the chapter that I'm going to start with you today is Oliver Twist. Now, Oliver Twist was a small boy who was an orphan. Orphan as in he had his mother. The mother gave birth to orphan and died immediately. And nobody knew who is the mother of Oliver Twist. So Oliver was a small boy who had no father, no mother. That means he was an orphan. Now I'm going to take you to the era where there were kind of buildings which were called as workhouse. Now workhouses were a public house. You go to temple, what is a temple? Temple is a public place. You go to cinema halls, you go to restaurants. What are these? These are public places. Anybody can go. But the difference between workhouse and restaurants is that in restaurants you have to pay for the services you are getting. But in workhouses, these workhouses were made for underprivileged children. Underprivileged children means the children who did not have basic amenities. They did not have basic necessity, like they did not have home, or they were orphan, they did not have any family member, or they were very poor that they couldn't afford to eat. So workhouse was made for underprivileged children so that they can at least have somebody to take care of. You can say kind of an orphanage. Orphanage is a place where orphans live and they are being fed, but they don't have to pay any kind of money. Similar was the concept of workhouse in the old era, where underprivileged children were given food and all the basic things. Now this workhouse was made by a board of members. There were a board that made this workhouse. So in this chapter, the story starts with that the board of members are sitting together. There are three people who are philosophical men. Philosophical means they have some, values in their head. Now they are talking about this workhouse. They are very mean people, very bad people. They are saying that, wow, what a life. We people are working hard, then we get our food, and look at these poor children. They don't do anything, and then also they are getting so much. So they thought to do some changes just to trouble. Now there are certain people who cannot sit properly. They have to trouble the other person. So these three people who were the chairmen, who were the board people of the workhouse, they decided to bring a change in the way workhouse has been running. So what they did, they issued a letter, a big letter. In that letter, it was written that every child who is in the workhouse now has to work day and night, and then only he will be getting food. And in any time we can throw that child outside also if he does any mistake or if his behavior is not acceptable. Now you see, this was the rude kind of thing that the people decided. Now comes the story of our Oliver Twist. Now at the age of 9, he was brought to this workhouse. Now what was the structure of workhouse? It was a large stone hall. It was, where the people used to sit and eat. It was a large stone hall. There was a master who was dressed in apron. Apron means that you wear while cooking. So there was a master who used to dress in apron. Now, these two things were present in the workhouse. Now when Oliver Twist went, he was not sure what kind of treatment he is going to get. Now because he was a child, he did not know how the workhouse is. What are the people planning for Oliver? He was just happy, he got a new bed, he slept, and then he was fine. Next day when he woke up, he started observing few things. That the behavior of the people with the children is not good. It was very bad. They were not given proper food. Can you believe what was their meal? In a week, in a total week, 3 meals of gruel. Gruel is a kind of a liquid soup. So in a day, they got only soup. That too 3 times. For example, morning, afternoon, and evening, they got only 3 meals, only gruel. Onion, twice a week. Raw onion, they got only twice a week, and a half roll on Sunday. On weekends, on Sunday, that too they got a half roll, not even a full one. So this was the condition, and now you know your appetite. Most of our appetites are very good. We need a lot of food. You know, when your mother gives you something less, then you quickly tell them, no mom, my tummy is still not full. I want more of food. But now imagine if you are made to go here, if you take admission in this workhouse, can you survive on this? It is impossible. So the appetite of the boys that were living in the workhouse was very high, but nobody could speak because they were scared of this master. This master could beat them. The master could throw them out of the workhouse. So one day what happened? They all were sitting together. They were eating, and most of them were hungry. They did not fill their stomach. Now, while the boys were sitting in a room, one boy said, I am so hungry that I can eat the person sitting next to me. Now, imagine the child was so hungry that he even, warned. He must have said it in a funny manner, but the other boys took it very seriously. What is he saying? That he is so hungry, he can eat the other child. So they had to organize a council. Which council? Council of boys. They immediately held a meeting. They said they need to discuss about this. We have to talk to this master that we are still hungry, and the boys are talking that they can eat us. It is not a good sign, and somehow something has to be done. So they all sat on the bed. What they did, they took pieces of paper and wrote their names. Then they put those pieces on the bed and asked the boy to pick it up one. So when the boy picked up the piece of paper, the name that will be written on that paper, that child will go and talk to the master. Now it is a pure luck. They are playing a game. They threw the bits of paper. The names were written on the bits of paper, and whosoever name will be written on that paper, that person will go and talk to the master. So now what happened when the child picked up the piece of paper, he found it to be the name of Oliver. The name written on the paper was of Oliver. Now whose responsibility it is to go and talk to the master about the appetite? It is Oliver. Now next day Oliver was very nervous because he knew that he's a very strict man. He went with a bowl and a plate and he said that I want some extra gruel. Can you give me some extra gruel? Now this master, when he saw that, oh, how dare you? This is your fixed meal that I give to you daily. How dare you ask me? So he, picked him up in a very bad manner. He scolded him like this and said, wait, you will get your punishment. Immediately this master went to the board members of the workhouse and he told this incident that you know what happened? There was a child, this recent child who has recently come, he had asked me for more gruel. Now the board members of the workhouse got very angry and said, he has got this, that, now he is going to ask us. Put him in the confinement area. Now what is this confinement area? A closed room where nobody can enter. All the food will be given to him there. He will be living there alone, like a jail, like a prison. So Oliver, just because he asked for an extra gruel, he was put into the confinement area. This was the punishment given to the man. So given to the Oliver. So now imagine a small boy who had just asked for an extra gruel was put into the confinement area. Not only this, a message was put after, at the gate of this confinement area that whosoever wants to take Oliver can take him. Now see, imagine, this child already doesn't have parents and he is put into the confinement area, and then it has been written that the people can take Oliver. Anybody can take Oliver. Now this was the life of Oliver Twist. It is a very small instance that I have shared, but this was the story of a small child who was brought to a workhouse because he had no parents to take care of. And workhouse was a public place where underprivileged children were taken care of. It was a large stone wall, there was a master dressed in apron, and the story shows exactly how an underprivileged child was made to suffer. Now, what do you understand from this chapter? What do you understand from Oliver Twist and underprivileged children? Children, you should be thankful for your parents. You should be happy for your parents. You should be happy for your mother. You should be happy for your father. That they take care of you so well. That they love you. Never disrespect them and be thankful each day for your own parents. I hope the chapter is clear to you. If the chapter is clear to you, please go like and subscribe your YouTube channel.